What is going on YouTube? Hayden back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we are going to be looking at XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin, as well as the S&P 500. Specifically, in today's episode, we have to talk about the fact that markets are still consolidating from the weekend. As you guys know, when the S&P 500 usually closes on Friday at about 4 p.m., we then see Saturday and Sunday not move because the markets are closed. But what usually happens is that we then see cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP kind of stagnate the same days that the S&P 500 has been closed for the past couple of months now. And now, starting today, we should see the S&P 500 open in about 10 minutes from the time of recording this video and basically dictate the direction we're going to be seeing the markets move to. Now, the S&P 500 managed to close on a pretty positive note as of Friday, and we actually saw markets swing up about 2.5%. Now, we're starting to believe that, hey, maybe this descending fractal has been broken, maybe we're going to start to recover, and maybe we'll have a target this week of about 4,200 points. A lot of people have been calling for a bottom, at least a short-term relief rally bounce, which we haven't seen just yet, but we could have just entered one. And what would happen is we'd see these markets bounce off the bottom support like we're seeing here, swing up inside probably this support and resistance level here, and then probably continue to head lower. That's the ideal movement that we are expecting to see. Obviously, the markets are oversold right now on the S&P 500 as well as a lot of cryptocurrencies, so it is implied more to potentially see these markets move to. So cryptocurrency right now isn't really seeing much movement. We're not seeing much in Bitcoin, Ethereum, or XRP, and I think we need to wait the next 10-15 minutes to see these markets open, and then we'll start to see some play throughout the rest of the day here. Now, in regards to XRP, like we said yesterday, and these other cryptos, we are kind of consolidating right now. Yesterday, the day before, you can see here this was Sunday, or sorry, this was Saturday, this was Sunday, and now you can see today is pretty much consolidating back down to where Saturday opened from. We're pretty much just trading sideways. However, we are oversold on XRP's daily chart, and we are retesting oversold on XRP's weekly chart here. So we do have a few things to talk about. Ideally, I do strongly believe we are going to be continuing to dump lower, which is unfortunate, but I don't think the S&P is out of the out of the bloodshed yet. I think there's a few more months that we have to see, and then we'll start to see markets rebound, and hopefully we'll close this year a little bit higher, if not at least break even on the drops that we've seen. So hopefully we can recover throughout the year. But in regards to crypto, I also expect the same thing. I do believe XRP is going to continue to dip lower. You can see we are oversold, but we did manage to close below this, descending fractal here. So there's a very big chance we're going to continue to skew lower and scale downwards, whether that calls for a correction like this throughout the week, an intra-week trade, and then continued correction is up for grabs. But I do believe we are going to see markets continue to dip lower here. We do have a trade open with expectations of these cryptocurrencies, seeing a small dip to the upside here, followed by more corrections to the downside, but we'll talk a little bit more about that later on in today's video. Otherwise, today's video is brought to us by Pionex. Pionex is obviously a leading exchange and crypto trading bot platform. But what I want to talk about with you today is Pionex is offering something called their dual investment, which is a great way to actually, it's like staking your cryptocurrency and then betting which direction the markets are going to be moving to. So while your crypto is staked, you earn an interest, and then you bet whether the market is going to be moving up or that crypto is going to be moving down. And you'll either make money or lose money depending on where the market closes, but you'll also be guaranteed to receive interest off the cryptos that are staked, which is super cool and an interesting concept. They're also giving away a $1,288 trial fund for free, which is super cool for new users. So stick around, check out the links down in the description below if you'd like to check out Pionex. I'm also going to be talking about them at the end of today's video, so stay tuned for that. But with that being said, definitely make sure to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm, turn on post notifications, subscribe, and let's dive into today's episode. So guys, as you can see, top 10 cryptocurrencies are pretty much just consolidating. Markets are down today about 1% before the S&P 500 decides to open. It'll probably open by the end of today's video, but I might not have time to talk about it. As you guys can see, the top 10 cryptocurrencies, we're pretty much seeing everything kind of float stagnant here. You can see since the dip that we had, we've recovered, and we've pretty much just been trending sideways for the past couple of days now, pretty much over the weekend here. Now, what we're looking for is obviously, like I said, the S&P to maybe continue to, swing to the upside here. We're expecting to see a small relief bounce or a small relief rally that would allow the prices to kind of head back to the upside, but still be in what appears to be a descending fractal, or at least a downtrend in that sense here, that would continue to scale us lower. If we do see these prices swing up to here and trend inside what appears to be, this seems to be the most resistant or a resilient sideways channel here, in between levels of 4285 points and between 4162 points. That seems to be where we seem to kind of stagnate and trend sideways. If that does happen, we're probably going to see as cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin also scale up to the upside here. I would ideally believe we'd see Bitcoin break through 31K with a target set at $35,000 throughout this week. That's really where I believe we'll probably see the markets move to. And then obviously after hitting this resistance, consolidating back down and falling lower, potentially to 26K, potentially down to $20,000. Now, the reason we believe this is going to happen is because these cryptos are still oversold on the daily and retesting it on the weekly here. You can see we're pretty much trending at 33 on the relative strength indicator, which is a huge sign of oversold and undervalued markets, with extreme fear that would cause markets to rally and swing back to the upside here. You can see, surprisingly, Bitcoin actually managed to reverse all the way back up from 25K to 29K and then trend inside our descending fractal here, which is actually a really good indicator where we pretty much stand with the markets here. You can see we are hitting a little bit of resistance, which has been a continued resistance on Bitcoin here, right at about $31,000. When I zoom to the weekly, you'll get a better understanding of what this actually looks like. You can see here what this ideally means. Surprisingly, we closed Sunday above this major support level, which is actually a good sign that could cause a potential recovery, even though we're starting to see markets dip downwards today. But you can see in the past here, we have managed on multiple occasions to wick down below it throughout the week and then close the weekly above it. You can see on numerous occasions, but you can see why this is such a major catalyst and support. This is a massive support for the future role of what exactly happens with Bitcoin here. We might see the markets actually consolidate on that for quite some time, but that's up for debate. But ideally, you can see we typically bounce off this and head up higher. It's a continued pattern here. So it'll be pretty interesting to see what ideally happens with Bitcoin. Unfortunately, this is the first time in a very long time we've actually seen a bearish cross happen on the weekly moving average. The last time it's happened, I believe, was back in 2018. Which is absolutely insane. And you can get a general understanding of what happened back here when the prices did decide to have that bearish cross in the weekly. And it's a good reference and indicator to see what might actually happen moving forward here in 2022, 23, and 24. You can see after heading an all-time high back at the end of 2017 into 2018, we consolidated. We had our bearish cross a few months later here, consolidated down, corrected lower. Lowest point we saw was about 3,600. So it tells us we just had the cross here in June. We had all of July, August, September, October, November, and then December. December mapped the lowest point here. So we have a similar movement that probably towards the end of November, December, will we see probably the lowest point within cryptocurrency. Then we did decide to consolidate up, and it took us a little bit of time, and it took us about another year before we really started to see markets lift back off again. So I do believe strongly we're not at the lowest point. However, we may consolidate on this. We may dip lower and consolidate here. We'll hit maybe a low of 20K, and hopefully that's the lowest point for the markets here. And once they do decide to hit that level, we'll consolidate, and then probably by the end of 2023 into 2024, hopefully we'll be able to rally higher. But it just shows we're not at that point just yet of all-time lows at that bottom, but I do believe we are very, very, very close, closer than we ever were before in the past couple of months here. So keep an eye on the way these markets move to. We have about a minute before the S&P opens, but we'll see how we react to here. That also implies with the other cryptocurrencies I do want to look at. I do want to look at Ethereum and then XRP before we end today's video. Ethereum is also trending, hitting its major bottom support at 1886. It's used this on numerous occasions in the past here to either use it as a resistance or support. So we'll see how we play around with this. I'd likely believe that if a correction and a relief rally kind of swings, we'll probably see these coins hit maybe 23 or 2,400 on Ethereum, then consolidate lower. That's the expectation. XRP as well will most likely consolidate back up. We'll see prices most likely get back inside this major descending fractal. Prices will probably swing back into here and then continue to trend lower. And as for the S&P, which opened pretty much flatline for where we're out, we'll see how exactly this plays around and kind of influences the rest of the markets here. But I am probably 60-40% 50% bullish on the fact that we might see this relief rally come. Otherwise, that's going to wrap up today's video. I do want to talk more about Pionex with you, though. I want to give a huge shout out to Pionex for sponsoring today's episode. As with all cryptocurrency projects, please do your own research and never invest anything you can't afford to lose. So guys, Pionex is a cryptocurrency exchange with free integrated trading bots, and no prior experience in automated or crypto trading is required. Simply activate their bots tool and get started. Now, Pionex launched in 2019, and it has been one of the fastest growing platforms in Asia with over $30 million in trading volume per day. And today, the exchange has over 100,000 users, serviced by a team of 100 plus experts, plus the founder and CEO. Now, the company holds a USA Money Services business license with a Monetary Authority of Singapore license pending, and liquidity engines are aggregated from both Binance and Huobi Global, ensuring that the bots can match orders and run 24/7. Now, Pionex is also backed by BitUniverse and has been invested in by the prominent Chinese venture capital firms Zen Fund and Go Wrong Capital. Now, so here's where things are getting interesting. Pionex is offering a way for people to receive passive income with their XRP from a dual investment at around 148% APR. Now, not only that, Pionex is offering a trial fund, which is a time-limited activity, and those who haven't created their own order in the structured products can use 1,288 USDT to create their own order, and it's for a limited time before it gets recalled. Now, also, dual investments lets you deposit a cryptocurrency and earn an enhanced yield based on two assets. It's a quite complicated process, but I'll try to break it down easier for you. Now, you can basically decide whether you want to sell your cryptocurrency for a higher price or buy it at a lower price in the future by trying to predict the direction of the market. And regardless of your position, you'll earn an enhanced yield. So it's kind of a win-win. But the currency you will get back is dependent on the outcome of your investment at the settlement date. So if you choose to sell higher, and if the market price on the settlement date reaches your target price, your investment will be sold for the alternate currency at the target price. However, if the market price doesn't reach the target price, you'll still earn a yield on your deposited cryptocurrency, but obviously the market price is lower, so you do lose that value. So what that means is if you choose to buy lower, and if the market price doesn't meet your target price on the settlement date, you'll only get back your deposited crypto plus the yield for staking it in their website. Now, if the market price actually reaches your target, your investment then is converted for the alternate currency at that target price, along with the interest from staking it in the website. Now, the risk to this is if the price exceeds the strike price when the product is settled, you'll get USDT back, not the coin you invested, and settle at the strike price, which means your coin will be sold at the strike price with the yield. Now, in other words, if you don't think that XRP will break 65 cents, aka the strike price, after 7 days, then you can purchase an XRP dual investment. Now, it'll get you a 45% APR during the 7-day period, and there will be two different results according to the settlement price after 7 days. If the price is above 65 cents, your XRP will be settled at 65 cents with a 45% yield. And if the price is below 65 cents, you still get your XRP back at the lower price with the 45% yield. So you earn interest regardless of whether you win or lose, similar to staking, but just like staking, even though you earn interest for the time that your coins were locked, if the coins are unlocked and are at a lower price than what you staked them at, you will lose the principal loss due to the market movement, just like dual investing. So if you guys want to check out Pionex's dual investing, make sure to check out the links down in the description of today's episode. Otherwise, huge shout out to Pionex for sponsoring today's episode. As always, make sure to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm, turn on post notifications, subscribe, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace.